So a few words about effectiveness coming from a Greek. You should listen up. We've effectively dismantled the European Union and probably go for the global economy next. So, effectiveness matters more than ever. Probably stating the obvious to you guys in this room. It's not so obvious to the advertising industry. Cannes Lions, Creative Awards still dominate the space. Things like the IPA Effectiveness Awards are just an afterthought. And you wonder why. Well, I mean, the excuse is usually the fact that you can't measure traditional advertising. It just can't be measured. I mean, John Wanamaker, almost 2 centuries ago, said, I'm wasting half of my advertising budget, I don't know which half. And incredibly, it's still true today. Most CMOs would say the same thing. Things are slightly different in the digital marketing space, in the overall space. Everything is measured, down to the last detail. Yet, really, is it about effectiveness or just results? There is a difference. If you look at ad impressions since '96, just to give you a few interesting numbers I looked at today, 127 billion ad impressions in '96, 5 trillion today. To put this into perspective, 16 messages per person globally per year, 750 today. So it seems to be results through volume, through bombardment. And the question is, have consumers maybe reached their saturation point? Can they take more? Can you take more than 750 messages, advertising messages a year? We don't think so. That's why we're sponsoring these awards. Effectiveness is about quality. It's not about volume. And I think this is going to be a big thing in the next 10 years. It's already done serious damage to companies like Groupon. Now, Groupon had embarked in a glorious flotation. One of the key elements that is bringing the valuation down, it's already down from 30 billion to about 10 and counting, was the fact that there's a massive dropout rate, right? Why is there a massive dropout rate? Because people receive an offer every day, and they're fed up, and they sign out, right? So we got to think about quality here versus volume. And I'm surprised that, a lot of mobile marketing companies still advertise impressions. We reach X million people, we deliver 50 billion impressions a year. So what? What's the response rate? What are consumers, how are consumers reacting to this bombardment? So, quality. We need to focus on quality. We need to do the unthinkable in terms of advertising philosophy, right? We maybe have to speak less, right? This hasn't happened since the 50s. You say this to a traditional advertiser, speak less GRPs. You're crazy? Got the budget. I'll bombard. No, but maybe we have to speak less because consumers are getting really pissed off. And we need to be more convincing, right? Speak less, be more convincing. The attribute of every great orator, the attribute of every charismatic leader. They don't speak much, but there's essence in what they say. So, quality. Where does quality come from? I think quality comes from consumer insight, taking that extra care and understanding what consumers want to hear, when they want to hear it, at what frequency they're willing to hear it. And it's a tough job. It's much easier to press the launch button and send billions of messages, billions of tweets, or whatever else. But it seems to be working the opposite way. Response rates in '96 were 7% in the digital marketing space. Today, they're below 0.1 average, below 0.1%. Now, I think that tells the truth, right? People are pretty much fed up. So quality comes from consumer insight. And we're mobile marketeers. And we are essentially celebrating today the campaigns and the companies that took the care to identify these consumer insights and deliver quality campaigns that deliver effectiveness, true effectiveness, not volume, effectiveness. A final thought. We're all really happy to be in the mobile marketing space. It's a booming medium. It's a booming space. But perhaps you got to think of it in the perspective of 5 or 10 years from now. Most likely, there will not be a separate category called mobile marketing. Most likely, it will converge into the wider marketing space, as most other media in the past have. So we should celebrate the fact that we're innovators. We should celebrate the fact that we're pioneers, but we've got to think to the future. If we're still pigeonholed as specialists 5 years from now, it's not going to hold much value. In the same way that a radio specialist, I don't think is that glamorous these days, right? So I think we're in a really good position, though, because we are more about the mobile consumer, a consumer that essentially consumes advertising or communicates on the go, and less about iPhones or tablets or devices. We're not about devices. We're about consumers who consume advertising on the go. And because I think this is probably the most revolutionary thing that has happened, at least in the last decade, we do have the opportunity to make our mark in the wider marketing technology space. And I'm hoping that a lot of the companies here today, and a lot of the companies in this space, are going to emerge as leaders in the wider marketing technology space, in the same way that Google did, right? As opposed to be seen as specialists. So thanks again, and enjoy the evening. I heard last year there was plenty of drinking and dancing, so thanks.
Thank you.